Wrasslin podcast. I'm Sheepshifter 23 with Soulamazin Gaming and Streetkilln.
What's up, guys?
What's
Unfortunately,
going
we
on?
are going to be missing Mr. Benjamin Rivers again. He is still down and out in the hospital. Send him your thoughts and well wishes. We hope he makes a speedy recovery and returns back to Dat Wrasslin podcast soon. So, how are you guys today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Doing
What's going on?
alright.
Alright, let's jump right
Doing
into this Raw thing. So, started out with Seth Rollins coming out to do a little promo. Basically,
Yeah, that promo.
yeah, well, was that a promo? Let's see. What did he really talk about? I didn't, I don't know. But then it went into Roman Reigns, because I can't get much information on that promo. I don't know if you guys have the same information I do, but I'm not seeing anything on it.
I don't quite remember what that was all about. I don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember Street?
What, the promo he did?
Yeah, Seth Rollins.
I
Was it
remember
Seth
him
Rollins?
talking about
Oh, okay. They did a
It was Roman
okay.
Reigns.
Their recap started soon. They didn't do it
That's why I
right.
was confused because then
Yeah.
Seth did do a promo later.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was
it started with Roman
Reigns
Reigns.
that did it.
Yeah, it's the way
Yeah.
they did it on this site. That's my fault. So yeah, sorry. We started off with the Roman Reigns promo. My bad, guys. Got booed damn near out of the arena. I remember that.
Hell yeah.
And you got
As
Samoa
always.
Joe
That's
popping
true.
up, Jinder Mahal popping up, Sami Zayn popping up, Kevin Owens. I mean, it was just every heel in WWE damn near. So,
I'm a little bit surprised Baron Corbin didn't pop up.
right.
I was expecting it.
So Roman
what
gets beat
happened?
down, gets
By
jumped.
like every heel, basically.
Yeah. Street was excited about this. He was sending us messages talking about he's getting jumped by heels, guys. You gotta watch. Tune in now. I'm like, oh no.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean that was interesting when I finally got to.
I'm at
go
work
and
like,
watch
shut
it.
up, Street Shop.
Right. But when I finally got to watch it, that was pretty interesting part. I was it's like they're just trying everything they can to get Roman over, even still. So let's just have everybody jump him. See how that works.
Yeah.
Desperate
they're-
measures.
I'm
that's
getting
the
tired of
measures,
them
man.
clumping Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman like they're just straight up baby faces or something.
Definitely.
You know, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be straight up baby faces, if baby faces at all. They shouldn't be the kind of baby faces that team up with each other, for one. Like, I'm Bobby Lashley. Let me go help Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns because I'm a nice guy. Well,
Right.
I'm kind of tired of that shit. But otherwise, you know, it's entertaining and it was kind of fun. And it was the most entertaining part of the whole night to me was the crowd. It was almost like a after WrestleMania crowd. The Canadians were just batshit crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
So yeah, Roman Reigns promo, all in all, decent promo from Roman Reigns as usual. Decent result. I didn't expect it. Well, I did after Street told me, but I wouldn't have expected it. Anybody have any thoughts and opinions on the Roman Reigns promo and subsequent beatdown?
No,
I thought
but
it was
one thing we
pretty
can all agree on is Roman Reigns gets booed all across the world.
Well, there's some places where he
booed
doesn't.
pretty hard over here in where they were in Canada, right?
Yeah.
He got booed pretty hard in Canada, but I already know why he got booed pretty hard because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were there, and Jinder Mahal, all from Canada, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that match, we'll get into it later. Of course, they got booed hard in that match because, you know, said.
So, moving on, that leads us into Elias versus Bobby Roode. So,
Sorry.
Elias wastes no time in dissing Canadians and Montreal in general, which was always good. And then Rude shows up, cuts the song short, but that's kind of what everybody does to Elias. And
Yeah.
it looked like Elias threw him into the ring post, and Rude was unable to continue. And that's
Oh yeah, yeah. Like he got injured or something on his neck or something.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Is this
No.
gonna be a is this? I'm wondering, is this a permanent? Is this a real thing, or is this kayfabe? What do we got here? Is it a work? Because Bobby Roode's a pretty good talent, and they're gonna be. I don't necessarily say they're gonna be
yeah,
hurting without him, but they could definitely use somebody like him on the mid card for sure.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. He's just taking a little vacay.
So that's going to be unfortunate if he is injured, but hopefully it's just a quick storyline injury, just so they can,
I
do
think it
whatever
was,
they got to do.
I think it was more storyline because if you watch the slow mo of them showing him getting like thrown into the thing, it was more of his chest than his like throat area where he was holding.
Yeah,
So I think it's fake, and I think this might just be story. They might just add it as story or something. I don't know. Maybe he will take out like, I mean, it's not gonna be like a real injury, but maybe he will take out like days or something, and then probably come back and go after Elias or something. You know what I mean?
yeah. All right. So, unless anybody else has something to say about Elias and Bobby Roode, we'll go on.
WWE stands for Walk with Elias.
Walk with Elias. Um, so that leads us into the Authors of Pain's little squash match with the hometown heroes Jean Paul and Francois. Um, this is Authors of Pain
I
in a
like
squash match.
Francois. That's cool.
I don't think it. I
Yeah.
wish somebody would do the thing where it was the Bludgeon Brothers and they picked up somebody and were about to powerbomb and the dude screamed like a little girl. I think they should do some
Yeah.
stuff like that with
Make it way more entertaining.
yeah, with Authors of Pain. Just like
Make
if they're
squash
gonna have them
matches
fight,
great again.
if they're gonna have scrawny people fight giant dudes, make it funny. Make it worth our time. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a squash match, so no real point in dwelling on it until the Authors of Pain
It
start
was
getting
just
real
yeah.
matches.
It was
I
just
don't
to
really care,
benefit authors of pain. That's all.
and I don't think squash matches really do all that much benefit in the first place. So
Yeah, true. It's just
until they fight
it just
somebody
puts
real,
them yeah.
I don't really
It
put
just
much
puts them
weight.
in action.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we're still here, you know. Don't worry, we'll fight somebody main
So
coming
yeah,
up. Who
Authors of
knows?
Pain beat the
Something
Frenchmen.
major.
And that takes us into the Miz Taraj promo with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. So Seth Rollins and
I'm
Finn,
still waiting on these T-shirts to show up on WWE.com.
the Four Horsemen, or
Yes.
yeah, that would be pretty awesome. I was almost ready to sign up for it. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas as the Four Horsemen. You can almost see it
The
because
greatest stable in wrestling history.
Curtis Axel's a little bit, he's a legacy superstar, and what, Mr. Perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect, and that's you can almost see he almost kind of looks like a skinnier version of Arn Anderson. So maybe he could be. Well, he couldn't be the enforcer. Never mind. Let me just. But yeah, that was a hilarious moment, and it's a good story. I like. It's keeping the Miz and Kurt Axel relevant and involved, which I didn't think would happen. I
Yeah.
thought they would get shoved down to the bottom of the card, if even shown at all. And I was pleasantly surprised that they're still being used and used well.
True.
I'm
True.
glad they are because they're entertaining. I like seeing them on the show.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that.
So, yeah, pretty good little promo building up to a little bit of more stuff later on in the night. And then we had Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott. Um,
Oh yeah.
Good stuff, man. Uh, it was a good match,
It
but
It
was.
was.
It
it was
was.
still
It
just
was.
more Bailey and Sasha stuff with Riot Squad thrown in for just for fun. It's dumb. I'm tired of it. Good matches or
Yeah.
not, it's
I think we gave our opinions on that too many times.
yeah, it's not it's not what I want to see.
It, yeah, mm,
So just going right past that, we'll let you know that Ruby Riott beat Sasha Banks, um,
yeah, of course.
and that was about
Because
all
of
there
the
was
the
to it.
Riot Squad, right?
That's always either because of the Riot Squad or because of something that went down with Bailey. So
A distraction,
yeah,
Of
whether
course, the good old distraction
intentional or not.
maneuver. Distraction maneuver. Always work. Always good to do as a heel.
so then we led into
Hill Bailey.
no Hill Bailey.
Exclusive. You heard it here first.
It's gonna come.
No,
Watch.
it's not. No, no, please don't.
Nah, it's not
But
gonna come. You right.
that does lead us into another moment of bliss.
Moment of bliss. What do you guys think about this promo though? Before we talk about it,
Well, I
what do
don't
you
care for
think
them,
about
but
these promos?
they are well done. They're almost like the public service announcements. The more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
I
really
think they're
well
pretty funny.
produced, and
They're
Is
short
but
and
this a,
sweet.
is this supposed to be funny? Like that's the thing.
Yeah, it's. Wow, I just had a brain fart. Well, I just
Cause to
forgot the
me,
word.
it's just been corny for me.
yeah, it's
I
supposed to be
never really
that
cared
too.
for it.
It's
It's
supposed.
supposed to be
It's yeah. That's I can't think of the word for it. But
camp,
like ironic, I guess.
campy. Oh yeah, it is. It is meant to be ironic because obviously she's the one that's doing the bullying.
I hate how she says bully. I'm just saying. I don't know. She says bully weird.
I haven't. I'll have to go back and listen to that and see if I can detect any weirdness in her speech. But I don't know.
Probably just me. I don't know. I don't know. Don't really care for the stupid moment of bliss.
You don't care for what?
I don't care for the moment of bliss.
Oh.
I mean,
I think they could do
I don't
without
think
it,
it's great, but
honestly.
it's
I think
something.
they could definitely do without it. They don't have to do it.
No, obviously not. But they got to finish off this Nia Jax storyline somehow. They've already kind of backed themselves into a corner with it. So they got to finish it out. And they're just
So
right now. It's just a case of sticking to their guns. I think.
it's just a short and sweet way to keep Alexa Bliss on television and keep the rivalry going. That's not really supposed to be a big deal. It's just
Definitely.
making sure you don't forget
Yeah.
that it's happening. It's going on. It's going down. Backlash this Sunday, you guys. Tonight.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a decent little thing. I do think it was kind of unnecessary, but you got to keep that story rolling along so that they don't forget why Nasha or Sasha and not Sasha, Naya and Alexa are feuding. So, but that led into straight into another promo. You don't usually get back to back promos,
I don't know.
but that was the Leaders of World promo. It's pretty good. I think it was the
I
first
like it.
time they officially said Deleters of Worlds.
Yeah, it was. It was the first time they said it.
So that was cool. I called that like 3 weeks ago.
And I got all excited when they said it.
I did too. I was like, oh, they said it. Here it goes. It's happening.
The
Like I looked at
deleter
my
of worlds.
girlfriend and I'm like, she came up with that like forever ago, and they just said it on TV. I was like, oh my god, it really happened first on that Wrasslin podcast.
It did.
It was a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's a real thing.
We calling out everything. You know
I
how we
think
do.
I think W I think Creative is finally listening to us, guys. They're
I
tuning in
know,
to Dat
low
Wrasslin Pod.
key.
That was our new subscribers we got last week. That was Creative. And they're all just like, let's just get our stories from these guys. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they know what they're talking about. We don't.
So yeah, the Leaders of Worlds promo, good shit. It wasn't. It's nothing really to dwell on until they
I
get
see
some
what
more
they're
matches.
doing with
But
them. I see what they're doing with them. If you look at it, um, so Matt Hardy, he's all about the bright side, you know, all white and shit, and Bray
Mhm.
Wyatt, he's all about like the dark side and whatnot.
Mhm.
So you got like, you know, the bright and the dark or whatever you want to call it. And I see what they're doing there, because you know how Sheep, you were like, oh, I'm trying to figure out like he's not changed at all. Like what's different about him? Like he's supposed to be woken or something. But it's about like both sides combining forces. I kind of see that now. And Bray Wyatt has like a motto that he says or something like about how something about the shadow. Our shadow will grow stronger or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he says, but he says it all the time when they do those promos. And I'm like, oh, I understand what's going on here now. I don't know if you guys already knew that or whatever, but I didn't really understand at one point what they were doing together, but I get it now.
I think it's still a work in progress. I
It
think it's
probably
gonna get
is,
better than what it is.
but I see how it's
But I do
going so far.
understand. Like I get what they're trying to do.
they've got to give them some more. They got to give them
They need to
some.
spend more time
Yeah.
together and shit.
Well,
They
instead
need
of
more
just
chemistry.
a little talking promo, they need to give them some of those little weird home video things that Matt Hardy did
Yeah.
in the broken stuff. You know, the weird little
Yeah,
segments of them doing just some weird stupid shit. I mean, it did do something like show them it throughout history or whatever, some kind of weird shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was funny as shit.
Yeah,
They need to do more of that type stuff
They're like,
too.
we were there.
yeah, that needs to take the focus instead of them just giving promos like that. But yeah, the Leaders of Worlds, good shit.
Always.
That leads us to the Roman Reigns, Strowman, Lashley, Mahal, and then Zayn 6-man tag.
I hated this match for one reason, and I brought it up last week on why I hate it. Why I hate matches they put in Bobby Lashley in the matches with Braun Strowman. I hate that. I didn't care for the match for
Yeah,
that
I
reason
completely
because
agree with your
Bobby
thoughts on
Lashley
that.
Bobby Lashley deserves more. He doesn't deserve to be put in a match with like fucking Braun Strowman. He doesn't need to be Braun Strowman's side piece. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Well, I
as you
think
look
what they're
at it, it's
trying
like
to do is put him in the same league as Braun Strowman. They're trying to show that he can run with Braun Strowman, that he can hang with Braun Strowman. You know that
I know, but like
he's an
we already
equal.
know the dude is big
We do.
and strong
We
and
do,
whatnot.
but not
No, just
everybody that
looking at the
watches wrestling.
dude,
Oh yeah, I know that
just
too. But
looking at him, you know he's a big motherfucker. He's definitely not no fucking Miz or Finn Balor or fucking whatever.
but you could
He's a
say the
big
same thing
dude. He's
about Titus
strong.
O'Neil. But
Well,
look what
he's
we think
definitely
about
bigger than
Titus.
Titus O'Neil. Titus
Not
O'Neil might be taller, but Bobby Lashley's more, you know,
well, I'm
More
just
muscular
muscle
type.
mass.
yeah. I mean, there's like put it this way, like Elias is probably almost the same size as Bobby Lashley. It's just it looks different because of Bobby Lashley's size or his height and his frame.
I don't know. I don't think he's that buff.
And his
Maybe,
apparel.
maybe, maybe if
Yeah,
he pulls a Jinder Mahal, then maybe he'll be there.
I'm talking
I
about
think it's
Jinder
Elias.
building up to
Mahal.
something. I think one of them is gonna eventually turn on the other, and it's gonna be a rivalry. I think that's the
Well,
whole
who?
point.
Yeah,
Bobby and Braun.
but the rivalry.
You think
Oh
so?
yeah. That'll definitely happen.
If it's anybody, obviously it's gonna be Braun, because Braun's been heel already. So, and I don't think they're gonna make Bobby Lashley as a heel.
Well,
Because from what
so far from what I've seen so far, Bobby Lashley doesn't appear to be getting as big as a crowd reaction as a lot of people would expect. But I'm not surprised.
I don't think
Honestly,
as many
everybody.
of this generation of wrestling fan knows who Bobby Lashley is. I mean, I know that we know who he is, and I know that he's still a big deal in some places, but we have to realize that a big portion of WWE fans aren't necessarily the kind of fans that we are and aren't our age anymore. There's a lot of
That's true.
kids who have no idea who Bobby Lashley is because when Bobby Lashley wrestled in WWE, they weren't even born.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't. Well, you can't really say that most of the audience is like younger generation. I'd say it's half and half,
Oh yeah, about half and half.
honestly.
But I mean, it's not as many as say can recognize John Cena or Roman Reigns or even the Hardy Boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true, true. Okay, so I've been hearing like rumors and like I guess it's confirmed rumors or something that Bobby Lashley's gonna be put in a match with what's his name? Hey, your favorite person in the world over here. You know, the one you don't want Bobby Lashley to face. Brock
Oh,
Lesnar. Okay,
Brock.
yeah. So I heard they're gonna have a rival sometime along the lines, and that might happen. So if let's say if Braun turns heel or something against Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley, faces Braun, does his thing, and then he beats uh, Braun Strowman, and then like what's next for him is Brock Lesnar. He's gonna go after Brock Lesnar. Do I think they'll probably make a rival with Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns? That's what I thought at first. But if they do have like if you're saying they're gonna have like somebody either Bobby or Braun turn on each other since they've been putting these matches recently, then that's how it's gonna go in my opinion.
Yeah.
Could be. That's a realistic thought.
And the only reason they put Roman Reigns in this match is because they wanted to. They wanted to put Roman Reigns in this
It's,
match. It
it's
was
the
kind of
only
the
way
whole
he could get a
idea.
win.
It was the whole idea for in the beginning because you know how we did this promo and got beat up. They just put him in the match. They made the match together. Like, oh,
It's
let's
like
just
his first win of the year.
yeah. It's like, oh, how can we make Roman beat a bunch of heels and probably get him over? Oh, you know what? We can have all the heels go after him and then put him in the match with those heels and add Braun and Bobby in there and have him win.
Well, for as many
That's it.
great people as were in this match, and it's as big of a spectacle as it should have been, it wasn't really that good.
Or
It
no,
really wasn't. I was disappointed by it. I
I think
kind of
it's
had
If
because
you're
high
gonna
expectations
if you're
of
gonna
it
this
was the
throw
one.
all that in
location.
there, well, maybe, but you could have had. Well, I guess because they might have felt out of it
They
because it was
tried the
back.
best they
Yeah,
could.
the crowd wouldn't get into it, and I mean it is harder
Yeah.
to put on a good show if the crowd's not into it the way you want them to be anyway, because they're doing the opposite because the hometown heroes were the heels.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I think it still
They
could have
did the
been.
best they could.
It could have been better. I think they could have planned it out more. Had uh, Lashley and Strowman involved a little more, and You know, it did need to be a showcase for Reigns for sure. But that leads into Baron Corbin and No Way Jose. But it started with your boy Titus Worldwide, who I'm just gonna go ahead and say needs to go ahead and get that big push. I think he needs to go ahead and be Universal Champion.
Where the T-shirt at though?
You know, after that greatest Royal Rumble moment, yep, Titus deserves a push. But yeah, he talked about it. It was fun. It was I liked how he was like, you know, he started trying to say something. You're like, you know what? I just fell.
Yeah, you say, "Oh, I love when a plan comes all together." You know what? I just failed.
You know, I just fell. So then it had you got No Way Jose beating Baron Corbin thanks to the distraction from Titus. So what if No Way Jose joins Titus Worldwide?
Oh yeah.
Didn't they have like a little hug out or something when they won?
I don't recall.
Don't recall either.
I'm pretty sure like
Oh,
the
did
way
anybody
Jose and
see
Titus
Apollo?
Worldwide had
Did
like a little
anybody
hug
see
out.
Apollo try to hit the floor with the towel so Apollo wouldn't or so Titus wouldn't fall?
Yeah,
Like he
I
dried
seen
the
that.
floor off so he wouldn't slip.
Yeah,
So yeah, they're definitely making the most out of Titus.
yeah, they are because they are selling shirts as well. If you didn't know,
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
I see
trying to
it. Yeah, I
capture. They're
just
trying
seen
to
it.
cash out on that. They're trying to make the most out of that moment, cashing out on it and everything.
it
I seen the
was.
shirts pop up.
It's a moment I don't think anybody that was watching is ever gonna forget. So
This is probably going to be the only biggest moment in WrestleMania. I mean, the greatest Royal Rumble.
well, if anything, it's gonna give Titus his like he hasn't really had that moment where everybody will always remember him by, but now wrestling fans are always gonna remember Titus O'Neil. So he
Okay,
made it.
so here,
He's in the books,
It's a
here's what
folks.
blessing in
the
disguise.
here's what the shirt says. If you didn't see it, it's called Rumble, Stumble, and or Slide, and on the back it says "Do it worldwide."
Oh,
I'll
I didn't
post
see the
a
back. That's cool.
yeah, I'll post a link to it in Discord
I'm on it
for
right
you guys
now.
to see it. Pretty funny.
Nice.
I likes. I'm gonna have to get me one of those
Are
when they go
you
on
probably gonna
sale.
get you one?
When they go on sale, I don't own a single wrestling shirt, but I might buy this one.
I have a few. I like this new fashion violation shirt as well for the fashion
Oh,
police.
breathe. Nah, fashion violation shirts. Yeah, I seen that.
Those are cool. All right, but anyways,
Yeah,
let's
the
get back.
only good thing out of the Baron Corbin No Way Jose match was Titus O'Neil, and the fact that Baron Corbin didn't win.
Yes, I can agree with that.
So I hesitate to even continue because next we have Natalia versus Mickey James.
Gross, 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 gross.
So yeah, Natalia beats Mickey James, and Ronda Rousey had some more stuff, and that was all. I don't have anything else to
Yeah,
add. If anybody else wants to add something, feel free.
I don't know what to think
Absolutely
about
not.
this. Like, all right, so the only reason they're having these matches with Natalia, so down the road, Natalia can turn on Ronda Rousey. Like I said before, that they're gonna make Ronda turn heel soon. So when Natalia turns over on Ronda Rousey, she's gonna be like wicked pissed off and probably gonna dominate Natalia, and then she'll probably just go through the whole fucking locker room or something, calling out people or I don't know, doing shit. But if it doesn't go that way, like it's been rumored. There's also been saying about, the women's tag team titles are going to be coming out. Maybe this will lead for Natalia and Ronda winning the tag team titles.
Oh, it's
Like,
even
be the first to
grosser.
win. Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
that's
I don't know.
terrible. This whole thing
But,
makes me like not even
Yeah.
like the fact that Ronda's in the WWE. I'd rather just leave.
There's
yeah,
already teams that are perfect for each other on both divisions. There's the
yeah,
Iconics. You could have Becky and
exactly.
Charlotte. You can have. I mean, there's a million other
I don't,
combinations.
I don't like, I don't like this whole storyline either. I don't like it either. And I think WWE knows, like, the people don't like it either. But it's like it's really the only thing they could really do with Ronda at the moment
Well,
because
really, the sooner
you know,
Natalia turns on her, the better. Because I just want to get this
yeah,
over with. I want and just
yeah,
like the next time she comes out to help her, Natalia just needs to slap her. Or, I don't know, give her a cunt punch or something.
yeah,
This is just getting old.
Yeah,
yeah.
and especially what has it been 2 weeks in a row now? They leave this match for the main event just so Ronda can come out at the end. Like no, like this show should have ended at that 6-man tag match. Should
I
have
mean,
Well,
over.
no, it
it's
wasn't the
not
main
the
event.
main
There was still,
event.
yeah, there was still
It's the
Seth
co
Rollins and
Oh
Finn
yeah, yeah,
Balor.
yeah. Okay, I forgot about the
it's
match.
the
I'm sorry.
co-main event. It's been the co-main event.
I
Yeah,
Is
forgot.
what
I'm
it's
sorry.
been.
you can say co-main
Uh,
event definitely,
yeah.
but that
No, you
does,
can't. That's gross.
that does lead us into Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, which was the one bright spot of the night, kind of on a otherwise kind of bland show.
Balor bringing back the rainbow shirt, of course.
I told you he would.
I think
So
both of you called that.
yeah, because
Yeah.
Balor Club's all about inclusivity, unless they're in Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was an actually a great match. I don't
Of
know if
course, it
it's
was a
a
great
five
match. When
star
did
match
these
or
two
anything
never put
like
out a
that,
great match?
but it was a
Yeah.
good match. I think we tend to scale up a little bit for people that we have high expectations for, and we give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes.
You
But
think?
I
Did you
think it was a
think
good
that they were gonna
match.
let Finn Balor win at first? Did you
I kind
think
of
they would
hoped that
let
they
him
would
win?
go back and forth for a little bit. You know, like trade the title a couple
Yeah,
times.
I also would have liked to see Finn hold the title a little bit and have Seth Rollins actually help Roman Reigns and be a part of the Shield that supposedly still exists because they mention it once in a blue moon, but they're never like
Yeah.
together.
You know
They
how
barely
Seth
speak about
Rollins
it.
always defends Roman Reigns. You know that?
Like
You know
what
how
happened
Seth
there? Like
Rollins
the
defended
Shield
Roman
just
Reigns?
died.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. He came out there
He
and said,
did
"Yeah,
with a few words.
Yeah.
I mean, like they need more than that. Like they didn't even attempt they're not even attempting to keep the Shield relevant anymore.
I mean, they are in a way keeping like I can't say they're really keeping the Shield as like as a stable wise relevant, but they are hinting ways saying, oh yeah, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns are they're still friends and whatnot. They're still together, like well not together, but still pals.
I think they're just
But
trying to
what
keep it
I don't
relevant until Dean Ambrose comes back. It's hard
what
to
I
keep
don't
that
like
alive."
Yeah. What I don't like about it, if they are doing things like that, having Seth Rollins come out and kind of defend or like bring up his 2 cents about Roman Reigns or something like that, why don't they have them like Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins? Why don't they have them like write something for them to bring up Dean Ambrose or something in a way or like oh, when Dean Ambrose comes back, me and Roman Reigns, and we're gonna fucking
Yeah,
tear down
Because it's too.
the
Well,
tag
here
team
there's a
stable
big
and shit.
reason because it's too soon. One, they don't know how long.
I know, but I'm not just saying like say something like that. I'm just saying like kind of bring Dean Ambrose up because honestly, every time I watch Raw, I forget that Dean Ambrose was on Raw or was like there as
Well,
a tag
that's
team.
almost a good thing because absence makes the heart grow fonder, and once he does come back, it makes it a bigger deal. You know, if
I
they're constantly
guess.
bringing him up and they're constantly bringing him up, then we're just like, well, yeah, we know he's coming back someday. You know, but if they kind of let us forget about him, then when he does come back,
It's
we're
gonna
like,
be. I
oh
hope they
man, you know,
make.
Dean Ambrose. Oh man, he'll be fresh.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
they give him a big pop when he comes back. Unlike other wrestlers, but I hope they give him a big pop when he comes back. He's gonna. He's gonna need it. He's definitely gonna need it.
Any other thoughts on this match, guys, or should we head on over to
No, man.
SmackDown?
It was a match.
It
It
was a
was
good
what it
match,
was.
but I mean, nothing crazy.
No,
So
I think I'm good.
that takes us into SmackDown. We kicked it off with an episode of Miz TV. Um,
Yeah.
Which is always great.
I'm always happy to see an episode of Miz TV. Which remind me, I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't get an episode of the Kevin and Sammy show last on Raw, but it is what it
True.
is.
Same.
So we had Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, and Shelton Benjamin all on Miz TV.
Mhm.
This is a
The
little bit
star-studded event.
chaotic as far as a Miz TV goes, but it still went over well. It still did the job. Um, Man, I love Randy Orton. I just wish we could find something for him to be
Yeah.
interesting in again. I don't know if it's that we've seen it before or that he's been. I don't know. I love Randy Orton, but they can't seem to get it right. You know what I mean?
I just
I
don't
think
want Shelton Benjamin going for the fucking United States title. Since that's what they're gonna do, all four of these people are gonna be going for the United States title. Watch. It's gonna happen. They're gonna make a fatal four-way sometime
That is what's going to
for
happen. It's
this.
going to be The
yeah.
Miz,
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, and Shelton Benjamin. And
Wait,
out of all
is
of them,
that scheduled to happen at Backlash? I didn't look at the Backlash card. Is that already scheduled?
no, I don't
I don't
know.
think so.
What's scheduled for the United States Championship?
Randy
Who's winning?
versus Jeff.
Just Randy and Jeff? Okay.
Unless
What if
it's
they do throw
changed.
him? What if they? Yeah. What if they change it and do throw the Miz and Shelton Benjamin in that? That'd be
I don't know. You think
kind of
they're gonna take the
interesting.
title off Jeff already?
No, but it'll add to. It'll add to like story.
I don't know.
Make it
Then again,
interesting.
I don't think that they'll add them because
They'll probably do like an aftermath on SmackDown,
yeah.
and maybe like Shelton Benjamin
I think we all
or the
want to
Miz
see
will
this
come out.
one-on-one match. I
Yeah,
don't want them to ruin it.
yeah, I know
I'm
what you're
pretty
saying.
excited
I was
to see
just
Randy
thinking,
versus
what if
Jeff
they do
again.
add him?
Also, I think maybe the only real reason Shelton Benjamin was in that match was for somebody to take the pin. Because
Think
they
so?
did pin him, and it literally was a way to neither make Randy Orton or Jeff Hardy look bad. So it kind of gives a little bit of unpredictability. Plus, you had the tag team portion of it where Randy gave him a little bit of an RKO.
RKO to nowhere, keeping the RKO to nowhere alive.
You know,
We got
he does
we
so
got
many of them,
Connor and Echo in here.
and you still never
What's up,
expect them.
Connor? Yeah,
I
never
was not
expect those
expecting that
RKOs.
RKO. I mean, and I should have been. Anytime you see Randy Orton, you should just always be going, "Who's he going to RKO now?" But I
Who's
didn't
getting
see it come.
RKO today?
I didn't see it coming, and it was a surprise
I
all over
definitely
again.
I seen it coming.
You saw it
All
coming.
right,
You called it.
Mr.
I definitely called it.
Optimus.
But it was a good
Yeah,
match.
so
It was a
optimistic.
good tag team match. Not bad. And
Wait,
It's Randy Orton, man. Everybody's getting RKO'd.
it
He's
is
like
Randy
Stone
Orton.
Cold. You don't give a shit who you are.
Stone Cold Stunner out of nowhere.
I'm waiting for Randy Orton to RKO Daniel Bryan. Everybody shut
Okay.
up.
So
This next segment,
the
which is
next
fucking funny.
it's either the best or the worst part of wrestling for the whole year probably. I don't know I don't know if this was just the worst thing I ever saw or the best thing I ever saw.
Dude, I'm the same way. I was in between, like, this is hilarious and this is very cringy.
Yeah.
Like, I was stuck in a rock and a hard place with this one.
No. If you want to talk about cringy, that'd be the next match. That'd be the next segment with the AJ Styles and Shinsuke. Like Shinsuke is so cringy during that. Okay, we can talk about this big cast thing though first.
Well, I mean, there's not really that much. I mean, I had a lot of high hopes for Big Cass last week. You know, we highly touted Big Cass after all the stuff he's put us through. And you know, I still don't know if I'm disappointed or if I'm super excited. I'm really at a loss when it comes to Big Cass right now. I don't I don't know what to think of that shit.
So for the people that don't know what happened, Big Cass called out Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's song hits, but Daniel Bryan doesn't come out. It's some little miniature dude, midget dude dressed
Little
as
person.
Daniel Bryan little person comes out dressed up as Daniel Bryan with the wig on and the shirt and whatnot. Got his old appearance. Comes in the ring, and like Big Cass just starts talking shit, saying, "Oh, you're different. You're much little or small or something."
Oh, the short jokes were getting so bad. I was like, "Come on, please, not one more short joke."
I think that was the problem with the promo. I think it was too dragged out. Like he should have
with the short jokes.
Kept it short. No pun intended. Like he tried to make way too many jokes and it got old. It's like just make a joke or two. Yeah, it was a joke in itself that a little person dressed up as Daniel Bryan came out. Like that's the joke.
That was the joke. Yeah, exactly. You didn't even need to bring it up.
Sit there and make it. He. That's what made it cringy for me. Is he like the obvious, plain, generic jokes? It's like, come on.
That's his gimmick thing right now. That's his thing they're giving him is to make fun of Daniel Bryan, whoever else that he's gonna fight. That's small, since he's 7 foot tall. He's in the thing they want to give him is make fun of like.
I just think it would have went over better if he would have just pretended that it was Daniel Bryan, like instead of all the short jokes, just act like he was having a regular conversation with Daniel Bryan instead of just all the bad puns. And I love puns. I love puns, but come on. So yeah, it was good. Big Cass, it was confusing. Big Cass is he still got hopes in my eyes now, and I used to think he had none. So
let me just note that Bleacher Report gave it an F.
I did. I saw that.
They said this was painful to watch.
Yeah, they did. Straight up F. They don't give many Fs. But I don't think it was an F. I think it was like a C plus, just because.
I'd say C minus.
Yeah, somewhere around there. It could have been way better.
True that.
So that takes us into what Street says was the cringiest moment of the night.
Oh, this is the cringiest moment.
Shinsuke pulling an Alexa Bliss over here, playing victim.
Oh no, yeah. He's pretty cringy on this moment. So what went down wasn't it AJ that came out looking for an apology from Shinsuke?
Shinsuke looking for an apology from AJ.
Oh,
That's why I made the Alexa Bliss reference.
Oh yeah, true.
Because of their last match.
Yeah.
AJ kind of lost his shit.
Yeah.
Yep,
and put the smack out on Shinsuke, pun intended.
Mm-hmm. True that.
There you go, Sheep. You said you like puns. I got you.
So the cringy part of this that I have to bring up. Of course, Shinsuke did his world famous, low blows now, because that's his thing now is to do a low blow. And
This one was
so,
funny again to
so
me because it was unexpected.
yeah, because I believe Samoa Joe came out
Hmm.
and was talking about taking the title away from AJ Styles after the match at Backlash that he's gonna have with Roman. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna beat Roman, and then after I'm done beating Roman, I'm gonna come for that
Yeah,
title.
that was very exciting for me because I used to
Yeah,
watch these two go at it in TNA,
and I
and
think that's
back
gonna
then
be
it
pretty
was
good too.
AJ was more of a heel, and Samoa Joe was like a baby face back then. So it's kind
Mhm.
of like a role reversal, and they're gonna have a rivalry on the other spectrum of things. I think I'm very hyped for this. Like
Yeah,
when
same.
Samoa Joe's music hit, I was like, yes, like this is like WrestleMania moment to me. I'm more excited to see these two in a rivalry than the Shinsuke rivalry. I'm pretty much over the rivalry with them two. Like it's pretty boring to me now. Honestly, I think Shinsuke needs
It's
to move
not
on.
that
I think
boring. It's getting
AJ
pretty
needs to like
funny and
turn heel.
cringy.
Like
It's funny and
it's
cringy
just
to me at
old.
the moment. But here's one thing I just want to mention that I never really noticed, but Samoa Joe, he's good at promos. I gotta give it to
You
this dude.
never
He's good
noticed
at
Samoa
promos.
Joe is good at promos?
He's probably
Well,
one
it's
of the
I
best
think
in the company.
I think
Yeah.
it's because he was absent for a while before his whole thing with Roman Reigns that he had, and Seth Rollins. He didn't do many promos during that time because how he was with Triple H as like the destroyer. Like, I'm the creator, meet the destroyer. So he was kind of like Triple H's side piece. So he didn't really talk much during that time, and I can't say I didn't see him enough on NXT because I seen his rival with Shinsuke. Is it probably just because I didn't really listen much to Samoa Joe because I was on Shinsuke's side? But like when you give like the spotlight to Samoa Joe like that, just have him come out after somebody huge like AJ Styles or Roman Reigns and just put the spotlight on him. I just listened to him and like, oh, this guy can do really good promos, and I appreciate that now because like
Hmm.
I never really like I
That was
was
the
a
main
fan
thing
of
I
Samoa.
noticed about Samoa Joe. That was my what I thought was his biggest attribute.
Like I was never like a big fan of Samoa Joe, but like I liked his whole gimmick and his whole like skills in the ring. Like I liked him. He was decent, but like I never really followed him, if you know what I mean. Like I never turned on wrestling just to see him fight Shinsuke. You know?
He is
Back
really
when
good
I
in
was
the ring too. He's very athletic.
yeah, I like his
I think
skills,
he's
like
like
his
all
move sets.
around. He's all around a great superstar. He has everything it takes to be a great
Yeah,
all around
I see that.
superstar.
I see
Like
that now.
he's
Will
in
they
that
give it to him?
caliber with the main card guys. Like he shouldn't be a main or he shouldn't be a mid carder.
Mhm.
He
True.
like think about who the mid carders are, like Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, Baron Corbin, Shelton Benjamin, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Samoa Joe's above all that.
Yeah, and I get why they put him in this
That's
spotlight
why I
against
think well, I
AJ
mean, would you guys
Styles.
agree would you guys maybe you don't agree that the Shinsuke AJ thing is necessarily getting old, but would you agree that I mean it should kind of die down after Backlash, like
I think
after
we
No,
we
should
have
move
a
on
because
to a different feud. Unless there's a title
no,
change, we
no, no,
should
no,
move
no,
on
no,
to a
no,
different
no,
feud.
no. The only reason why Shinsuke was brought up to be a heel is the whole thing with AJ Styles. Uh,
they could
Like
still move
he
on
he
from
got
it
pissed
though. I
off.
mean,
He's pissed off. He's a sore loser that he lost against AJ Styles, and I see that, and I see that this rival is kind of not really just beginning, but they're working on it some more, like until they get Shinsuke's heel set and done. Like I think he would only be a big heel if they give him a shot like this where he's working with like a big face like AJ Styles. the more that he's working with them, and not necessarily longer, but it'll turn as like, oh, okay, we know that this dude's a heel now, you know.
Yeah,
Then he
I
can
just
move
don't.
on and just be a
I,
fucking asshole and
I
low blow
just,
everybody.
I just rather not see him just be a Roman Reigns and lose to AJ Styles for the rest of the year. Like something's gotta
I
give.
know what you mean. I
He
know
needs
what
to
you
hurry up
mean.
and win the title from AJ, and then
But
that goes on to
if they
somebody else.
make it short living and have him just finally win the title, it's like, then really was that all that heel shit necessary? You know what I mean? All the low blows and all the cringy shit
Yeah.
that he does, wiggling around the
How many
fucking
times has he
ring
low
after
blowed
low
him? Like
blow.
5 or 6 times now. Like
Yeah,
it's been like 2 months. Like how long do you think a rivalry needs to last? It doesn't have to be all year.
not really too much. It's only been a month.
There's so many superstars. There's so much talent right now on both rosters
I know, and
and
that's why
off.
they
There's
have
so much
Samoa
they could
Joe gonna.
do.
That's why they have Samoa Joe coming out too. So
Yeah, I'm just ready to move on to that.
yeah, since now it's
They could have
thrown
like a
out there.
Shinsuke Daniel Bryan rivalry, and let us have some Joe AJ Styles rivalry. Let this end
Mm.
tomorrow night is what I want. Or even if you're gonna drag it out, like you said, Shinsuke could win the title and then keep going a little bit too. I don't know. I just don't
Like
want
if
to see more of the
Shinsuke,
same. Like the low blow thing is still kind of funny to me, but it's just kind of getting like I foresee it getting old very soon.
it's gonna get old, but
You know what
like
I
if
mean?
they're making
Like
Shinsuke a heel, what they gonna do with him? His English is not that great, so he's gonna have to do some kind of like maneuver or some kind of he's gotta have some kind of thing that makes him a heel, because like I said,
well,
his
I just
English
mean
is not that
specifically
great.
with AJ. Like I just mean
But
specifically
if
with
he
this
wins the
rivalry.
title, they can't really make him a heel out of that, unless he just starts like doing some cheap victories with the title, just like low blowing or something or some kind of stupid shit to make him win. Some kind of cheap way of making him win. It's kind of hard, I'd say,
Yeah,
to
I don't
make
know. I'm
make a
lost on
heel
this one.
out of a foreign person that's not that great at English. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you can make anybody a babyface if you give them background story. You know,
yeah.
you don't really have to talk that much.
You can't make anybody a babyface.
Well, they could, but it's just all about the crowd accepting it and how they play it. You can make anybody a babyface.
Well, it was a good match. It was a little bit cringy. I did like the fake out Kinshasa. That was kind of
Yeah.
nice. But
Yeah.
I think we can move on now to the Xavier Woods and Sheamus matchup, which, you know, it is something that's not New Day and Usos, so that is a break from that. And it was a pretty good match, to be honest, for what Sheamus and Xavier Woods
Yeah.
were able to
Yeah.
do. I was pleasantly surprised.
I didn't really care for it, honestly. I didn't care about it.
I thought it was pretty good, and you know, you're a big fan of the Bar, and we all know
I
the New
am,
Day is
but
at the top of their game, and
I'm not a
so
big
are
fan of New Day at all.
well, they're still at the top of their game, and they're still, you know, first bid Hall of Famers and all that good stuff.
New Day sucks. New Day sucks. New Day sucks. We need those chants coming out. There's a New Day sucks chant. I need them.
Well, it was recently noted that New Day is no longer at the top of the merchandise sales. They're not selling like they used to.
Well, here comes the breakup. You know
That's
what?
because
They're gonna have.
they're not in big moments anymore.
They're
They're
gonna
not
have.
really faces in tag team division at the moment.
They're gonna
You know what I
have the
mean?
New Day and Bailey all turn heel at the same time and start a new faction.
Yeah,
called Our
Bailey, New
Day.
Day.
Our
Our
Day.
yeah.
No,
Saturday of
no,
this week.
no, no. The Boo Day.
The
The
Boo
Boo
Day.
Day. The Boo Day. What the fuck?
See, it works on so many levels because they get booed. Boo Day, booty, get it? Oh, the Boo Day.
But they make sure you're not booty. They're
See,
doing in those
see, watch.
videos.
They're listening, and that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna. It's just like the deleters of worlds things. Creative is gonna rip that right from us. So we just need to be
It
prepared.
happens over the
We
freaking
need to
Where's
be
my copyright? Let me go
Boo
sign up
Day.
on
Yeah,
copyright site
yeah. We need to.
and
This happened.
copyright
This
that.
conversation has happened. We need to copyright Boo Day so we can sue WWE. And we don't want to sue them for money. We want to sue them for jobs.
Mm.
just
We
give
just
us
want to
jobs.
replace them.
We cannot. Our job either has to be in the creative, what do you want to call it? Section. We're not gonna be no like fucking, cameramen or fucking cordmen or referees or something or fucking.
I don't know. I
cleanup
might. I
crew.
would do referee.
Referee, I guess, but no cleanup crew or nobody in the back.
Yeah, I'm
That
not
we
putting.
they
I'm not
never
putting
see.
the ring together or nothing. You know, we're writing
Yeah.
stories. That's what. Yeah, you gotta hire us for our value.
Yeah, needless to say, I guess the match was alright with the bar and, well, not really the bar, but Sheamus and Xavier Woods. I guess it was alright. I mean,
That.
It sets up what's going to
it
be a
is
good. It's
what it
probably
was.
not the feud you want. You probably would have rather seen the Bar versus the Usos, but
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
but
Or the Bludgeon Brothers at that.
but it's going to build to that, and
Yeah, it'll
I
build.
think the Usos are going to maybe finally take out the Bludgeon Brothers or Sanity, but
Yep.
we'll
See
see how
after
that
that.
goes. And that leads us
I
in.
think.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
You know what?
Say?
I think would be cool. I don't know if we brought this up already, but Street had the theory of the New Day and Usos joining forces.
Yeah.
What if Sanity and the Bludgeon Brothers did the same? Did we talk about this already?
No, well, we've talked
Would
about.
it be like a
I
5-on-5?
think we've talked about each one separately, but it never dawned on
Because
us
then
to
you could
say
throw.
what if they
You could
both.
throw.
Yeah,
You could throw Naomi in there too to fight Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross. Wow. See, they're
Yeah.
So
gonna.
it'd be like 6 versus 6.
What are you doing, WWE? Join Sanity and Bludgeon
Hey,
Brothers together. New Day
Where
and the
has
Usos.
Sanity's
copyright that, baby.
where has Sanity's debut gonna come in place?
Probably
You
next
think
When
week.
it's
you
gonna?
least expect it.
Either Backlash or next week. I'm assuming.
They're probably gonna have them join forces, just you say it. Watch Bludgeon Brothers come out
It
and
makes
have a
sense. If they
match
want to keep Bludgeon Brothers relevant, they're
with
gonna
the
have to do
Usos.
something.
Yeah,
And then the
Bludgeon
Usos
Brothers
coming
come
back
out with the
after
Usos.
losing.
And you know how all the time we have Naomi coming out saving the Usos
Hmm.
in the match. We're gonna have the New Day come out and start beating up the shit of the Bludgeon Brothers. Then all of a sudden, you're gonna hear
Yeah.
and Sanity just
Then
comes
they
up,
come
backs up the
defend the
Bludgeon
Bludgeon
Brothers.
Brothers.
And then fucking, Nikki Cross gonna be in there, and then all of a sudden Naomi comes out. Yeah, this is gonna happen right there. Gonna happen.
Sounds good to
You
me.
right? That'd be interesting to watch. Now
It
that
would.
will make
SmackDown great again.
Live SmackDown Live great again.
For sure. I could see that. I would really like to see some shit like that.
I
But-
mean, they
If we
always
had
have
that
some
going
good.
on with AJ and Samoa Joe feuding too,
Yeah.
oh boy.
I mean, the main event for this week was pretty good too. They're doing all right with the women's division on SmackDown. I don't know what the fuck they're doing on Raw.
And they're all the other heads of their ass. Worried about Natalia.
Yeah, they're too worried about
Carmella
And the
Natalia.
Hart family's over there, pitching in donations. to try to keep her career going.
Yeah. Because
And I
Carmella
Come on,
is
also
remember
kind
Bret
of
Hart? Bret Hart, come
good.
on, Bret Hart, you remember?
Bret Hart.
Get the fuck out of here. She
I
loved
also
Bret
kind of
Hart.
Yeah, yep,
I
Soul.
do have to say that I like I finally get what you guys are saying about Peyton and Billy. Like when they were making fun of Renee, you know, it was like so terrible that it was good. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They were like even doing the wrong accent.
Yeah.
She's like, that's not even the right accent, you guys. It just doesn't phase them one bit. They don't care.
It reminds me of when we messed with Street about being from Boston.
Yeah.
And we don't even make any sense. But it's funny anyways.
But yeah, iconic duo and Carmella is a pretty good little team going on. I like that. Oh, Julian
Yeah,
Loftus
it
has
actually
arrived.
makes sense. It's actually not cringy them teaming together.
For sure. I
It's
was.
nothing's as cringy as Ronda and Natalia.
Yeah, that's cringy as hell.
I
But
mean,
yeah, the
Natalia's
main
usually
event.
cringy on her own. So why would they just? That's like, it's like they tied a fucking rock to Ronda Rousey and just threw her in the fucking water.
I don't
Because
care
it's a
that
good way to
they're
turn her
friends in
heel.
real life. I don't care. This is a business, you know. I don't go to
It's a
work and
good
be like,
no. It's
I
a
want to work
good
with my
way.
buddy. You
It's a
know,
good
it's a
way to
fucking job.
turn. It's a good
I
way to
see what you're
turn her
saying.
heel.
I say,
It,
but they're not. They're dwelling on it too long. She should have just fucking turned on her already.
it's a good way to turn her heel because
But
if
Natalia's been
they
here, she's freaking annoying. It's just
no no
terrible.
no no not her, not just
Oh,
her,
to turn
but
Ronda heel? Do you think Ronda's
yeah
gonna turn on Natalia?
yeah it's a good way to
I
turn
thought
her
this whole
heel.
time you guys were talking about Natalia
No,
turning on Ronda.
well, we already know.
So I was so confused. I
That's
was
what
like,
I'm talking
what?
about. This is Soul's wild tangent. He's or Street's wild tangent. He's going on, not mine.
Oh,
Um,
oh.
It's a good
I
way to
think
turn
I'm pretty
her heel.
sure WWE has
Well,
a
something's
fixed
gonna
idea
happen.
of
Something's
Ronda Rousey being a Stone Cold type anti-heel, if you want to say anti-hero. You know, kind of the middle,
Well,
a tweener.
I agree. That's what she should be. But I think I
Yeah.
mentioned this like in the past, maybe in like one of the earlier podcasts, how I feel about Natalia. I think she's just painfully boring. Like I
let
think she
me
has a bad personality even like in real life. Like I've watched stuff on her real life and she's just annoying.
let me
I just
just
don't
get
like her as a
something
person.
out of the way quick since we're kind of like on Raw right now and we're supposed to be on SmackDown. Like I'm saying, it'd be good for her to make her heel. It'd be a good way to make her heel because to make Ronda heel because they don't really want you don't really want Ronda to like betray or do something stupid to make her a heel against somebody big like I don't know Nia Jax or a face. Who's a face right now? Sasha a face or Bailey a face?
I don't know. I
Whoever's
don't even know
a main
anymore.
face. Whoever's a main face is a diva.
I
I
don't think
mean,
there is any face divas on Raw.
it won't really make her
Bailey?
such a big of a heel if they do something like that. Like, you know, a lot of people would then really, really hate her because they'll be like, oh, this, you know, like what Sheep said, turn into a Stone Cold kind of character, and that's how they can do that is making like
Yeah.
somebody that's already like a face and a heel, somebody they don't like, people don't really care about, but they know her
Yeah. I
legacy
got
and
you.
shit. So it won't really hurt both of them, is what I'm saying,
I got
and
you.
that could change Ronda's
She
perspective,
doesn't
like
need a
people's
heel
perspective on
turn. She
Ronda.
just needs an attitude shift.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I
I'm
am.
just
I
saying. I
see what
just
you're
said that.
saying.
That's
I'm
what I'm
just.
saying.
I'm putting it
Is
in
kind
your
of like
word.
an
I'm making it easier
attitude.
to understand.
Yeah, yeah. It's
She
like an
needs an
attitude
attitude
shift.
shift, not a straight up heel change. She needs to go
Yeah,
from. She's right now more of a straight up face. She's like
yeah,
all smiles and happy go lucky and nice. She doesn't have that edge to her that says, well, you know what, you're a good guy, but you're also a face, but I don't care because I'm Ronda fucking Rousey, so I'll put your ass in an
yeah.
armbar too. friends or not.
Yeah.
Almost an RKO out of nowhere situation. Like there's that mutual respect. Like you step in the ring, even if you're friends with Randy Orton, you know that you could still get RKO'd at any moment.
Why is your Asian so white?
That's racist.
You're Asian?
Yeah, I said, why is your Asian so white?
Have you not seen Kairi Sane? She's pretty pale.
Is she really? She don't
No.
Yeah.
look that pale to me.
Maybe
The
not that
attire
pale,
makes
but
her skin look more pale too. And the fact that it's a video game.
yeah.
Why can't they make her the color as Oscar over here?
Well, are we gonna talk about this main event? Did we just act like we forgot
Oh,
if
yeah.
that happened or what?
Oh yeah, that main event. It was a good main event
The 3-on-3, the
Yeah.
women's version of the match on Raw.
though. It was good. I liked it.
It was a good match. I like all the
Better than
women
whatever
involved
they
in this
do in
match,
Raw.
and I like the storyline behind it. I like it's actually something positive in the women's division. We usually have like nothing good to say on the podcast about this subject, but this is actually pretty good. Like
Well,
the women's
there's
division is like
good stuff,
stacked
but
on SmackDown.
there's always one or two good women's matches, and our usual complaint on the good ones is that we didn't see enough of it, or that they gave it crap storylines. The main thing that we're tired of, as far as the women's stuff, is them giving them fucking soap opera, teenage drama crap storylines. You know,
Yeah,
like
which is mostly on Raw.
it's mostly on Raw, and literally, okay.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I
It is
don't know.
mostly on Raw.
I think it would be. SmackDown is almost like the only place to get good tag team or good women's wrestling. I
Hmm.
mean, you almost go to Raw for the singles matches because even though you've got AJ Styles and Shinsuke here, you know that's getting old. But
Mhm.
I don't know. We got the Miz
Hmm.
back, so I think SmackDown's going to be. There's no reason SmackDown shouldn't be the best show on TV for the rest of the year, unless they just lose all their people.
Really just ruin it with
Yeah.
I
terrible
mean, you've got.
writing.
They lost a lot of people, but they've still got, in my eyes, the the best of the roster with
Oh
AJ
yeah,
Shinsuke, Randy
definitely.
Orton, Jeff Hardy, and the best women division, the best tag teams. Like they've got Raw beat. All Raw has
Yeah.
is
True
big
that.
names.
They did have Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, so they got
Yeah,
that going for them.
they've got Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, and they've got what? What else? Ronda Rousey.
Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins,
All right, they got
or
Seth and
not the
Finn.
Miz, Finn,
They don't even have the Miz anymore.
Yeah.
Elias. I said the Miz on accident. Elias
Yeah, Elias
Oh,
and
and
Bobby
Elias.
Braun
Lashley. Yeah, but
and
see,
Braun.
all these people are.
Not
They're
really that active.
Singles competitors,
The only
well.
single
people
male
that really are
competitors,
active at the
like
moment
you said.
is Bobby Lashley, Braun, and Roman.
Here's my. I'm
And
noticing
Seth Rollins
most,
and Finn Balor.
except for Seth
But
Rollins and Finn Balor, most of those guys are powerhouses.
yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
They're all big guys, big, strong, tough guys,
Yeah,
and that's too much of the same thing. It makes it seem
yeah. We
repetitive.
want to see more
If you see
athleticism.
Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar and similar sized guys fighting each other all the time, then
I think
it
what
becomes.
Raw's one big piece that Raw's really missing, and this is what I really, 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 I think what anybody would have been hoping for is I was hoping to see Rey Mysterio sign a contract. I think he would be good on Raw right
We
now.
need a high flyer. We need some high
Yeah,
flyers back.
he could,
Like
cause you
that's
know
what this is why it's boring. This is
he had
why
matches with the
WWE's been
Great
boring
Khali
lately.
and the Big Show and Brock Lesnar. You know, he could put on good shows with those guys, like the Brock Lesnar AJ Styles match. Like a big guy versus an athletic guy. Rey Mysterio can put on shows, dude. Plus, he could be in the mix with Finn and Seth for the Intercontinental title, same time. You know, he could do it all.
Hmm.
He would be a big addition. I mean, I get the whole gist of everything that's going on with him and why he's not there, but I think that would make Raw like really, really exciting.
True.
I mean, he was always more of a SmackDown guy, but he would be needed more on Raw right now. I think I could see way better storylines on Raw with him. Because I always like that athletic guy versus big guy style matchups. Like you said, there's too many like the big brute guys on Raw. That's why at least it's good Samoa Joe in the SmackDown because it was really overloaded.
Yeah, that's my only opinion on that.
It was like, which one is gonna fight Brock Lesnar? Like, is it gonna be Samoa Joe? Is it gonna be Braun? Is it gonna be Bobby Lashley? You know, it's like, oh my god,
It's gonna be Rey Mysterio. 619.
should be. Rey Mysterio runs through all of them and then faces Brock at WrestleMania.
It's gonna be Batista.
I don't think he's gonna come, dude.
They've
Just saw a
been
bunch
ignoring
of
his calls.
smoke
They've
blown.
been ignoring Batista's calls, man.
They're like, oh, Bobby Lashley signed? Okay, call him, tell him never mind.
You saw we'll get into that
Bobby Lashley
on
be
the
up for
rumors
half
on
the
the
money?
Batista
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, we got it. We can get into.
All we gotta
NXT
do is
now.
run through NXT now, and then we can do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we've made pretty good progress today. So, yeah, NXT was started off with Kairi Sane and some randomer I haven't seen before.
No, it was.
Like she did some like cringy heart thing.
Oh
It,
yeah, the one
it
they
got
called a princess or some
it
shit.
got kind of weird for a second.
Oh
But
god,
it
that's
was all
super
good.
awkward.
Like Kyrie saying caught the kiss and like threw it up and then looked at it through her pirate. It was like, okay,
Yeah,
this
it's
is.
like, what are they doing here?
So then it was just a quick little squash match, and Lacey Evans, the weird old she looks like the woman on the "You Can Do It" posters from World War II. You know, the women
Yeah,
who worked in metal shops while their husbands were off fighting the war. She looks
I
like one of
think
those
that.
type women, which is kind of
I think
borderline
though that.
offensive.
Well, no, I think that she was legitimately like in
She
the
was a
Marines or
Marine.
something.
She was a Marine.
Yeah. So, and that's the only thing I like about her.
So there is that. She was a Marine, and we
I
can
respect
say
the fact
thank
that
you
she
for
was a
your
Marine,
service.
but
But you
yeah,
know,
we don't need any more of it.
technically, so was the Miz.
Yeah, the Miz is an American hero.
He was a Marine, and John Cena. John Cena was a 5-time Marine.
It's true. That is true. I believe Randy Orton was a Marine as well. Am I right?
Was he? Was he in one of them? I haven't seen
Was he?
very
I
many of
think so.
those.
I think so. I could be wrong.
I don't know. But
Oh, he's condemned. Oh, okay. Moving
it,
on.
yeah, it's led to an angle. I guess sets up an angle with Kairi Sane and Lacey Evans, and we'll see where that goes. I Lacey Evans is kind of big, you know, larger than most of the women as far as muscles and size, so she kind of has an advantage in making it look like she's got the strength advantage. She's kind of like maybe a Beth Phoenix type. So that could be an interesting juxtaposition against the really, really
I
small
think
Kairi Sane. Because she's like tiny. She's probably the smallest woman besides Alexa Bliss
The wannabe Oscar.
in the wrestling.
The wannabe Oscar. Kairi Sane.
The one of it. No, she's not an Oscar. She's
well,
not
she's pretty
she's not
different
like an
than
undefeatable.
she's a
She's
face like a
Yeah, I
more.
know.
She
I'm just
reminds me of an
joking.
anime character. Like just straight up just like one of those happy-go-lucky, always excited anime characters.
yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
She's pretty cool,
I
interesting.
get ya.
So that leads us into Street Profits versus TM61, which was pretty great to me. I don't, Bleacher Report gave it a B. Man, I'd give it like an A because I like Street Profits, and I thought that they were just gonna get the win because they're kind of over right now, and they just lost to whoever it was in that last thing that they lost to. I forget, but I thought that they were just gonna straight out take the win, and TM61 would kind of get buried and get lost in the shuffle for a little bit longer, but they were hurt, so there's usually like a rebuilding phase after a team gets hurt or something like that for them to get back into the groove. So to
Yeah.
see TM61 just straight up kind of turn heel and do the dirty pin and all that to get the win was pretty amazing to me. That I didn't see it coming at all, and I think it sets up both teams for good things.
Well, I started
Mm.
watching NXT definitely later than you. So I didn't really see much of these guys because when I started watching, they weren't around.
Hmm.
So the comeback wasn't like exciting for me. Like I didn't know the backstory to it. I didn't really see this as a heel turn when I seen it. Like I didn't know. You know what I mean?
I get you.
I didn't know.
Well,
I didn't know they
like
were supposed to be in the first place.
I remember
And
them
I could
mainly
kind of see
from
that they were
the
faces, I guess, during
yeah.
the Dusty Rhodes Classic.
Yeah, I saw the first Dusty Rhodes Classic, so it really I remember it from that. Like they were straight up faces, and they took it to Authors of Pain, and that's no easy task. But
Hmm.
I see
Who that? Who that?
it's a good thing to me. I liked it, and I hope that
Yeah.
I hope it builds more, and that it can trade a couple victories and such back and forth, and maybe lead into a good thing. Make it good.
Yeah.
But that takes us into NXT's newest member, the whatever he is, Kona Reeves. He calls
He's the
himself
finest.
the finest. Um, I don't know if he's the finest at being average, maybe. Um, he's probably like I don't I see him on the same level as like No Way Jose.
I
I
don't
don't
know. Like
I don't
he
think he
seemed
has the
really
charisma.
interesting. Yeah. Well,
He
he
acts
did
like
in
he's
the
supposed
videos.
to, but
Like in the videos, he had more charisma, and I was more excited like to see him come back. Like I was even like joking around with my girlfriend and stuff, talking about, oh, he's got the finest this, finest that. You know, like going along with it, egging it on, like trolling, because I was like interested in it. Like, it was funny. But then when he actually came on TV, I was like,
the match wasn't
like it
all
was
that
kind of
great. His
it was
finishing move is a
disappointing.
Samoan drop that he just calls the Hawaiian drop. I'm like, are
Yeah.
you fucking kidding me? And one of the biggest things that got me is in the main promo that he had before he came on. He said he had like the finest smile, and then I'm like, dude, your teeth are
Hmm.
kind of yellow, bro. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't look like. I mean, you might could use some crest whitening or something there because
And he
that's
just
not the
came out in
finest
like
smile.
his wrestling attire with a shirt over it. Like what?
Yeah, like
I
maybe he
expected
should
him to be like an EC3 type character.
yeah, maybe he should like
Like
get
come
a
out in a nice
grill
suit.
and like yeah, get a grill and wear some Gucci or something like that. I don't know. But he doesn't exude finest to me. If anybody in WWE right now makes me think, finest of things, I would think like The Miz or Bobby Roode. You know,
Yeah, The Miz, Bobby Roode, EC3.
even yeah in
But
WWE in NXT EC3 or Tino Sabatelli. Uh, as much as
yeah,
I
he
don't
can pull
like
it
him,
off.
but as far as NXT, he appears to be probably out for the next 6 to 9 months with a torn pec muscle.
Really?
Yep. So the heel turn last week was completely pointless.
That's disappointing because he was supposed to really be going places.
Yeah, they were supposed to give him a big
They had big
push.
plans for him.
Yeah. Bad timing
Not
on
a,
that. This leads us. There was quite a few matches on NXT this week. Usually we only get like two or
well,
three, but
there's always, sometimes injuries are a blessing and a curse. They could be one or the other. You know what I mean? Or they could be both. Because, like you said, where the absence makes the heart grow fonder, he could come back and have a nice thing. Like it would be like a big cat
and
situation. The
finally get
same
a
thing happened to
pop.
Big Cass.
But well, yeah, because the
Yeah,
thing that doesn't have to happen now is now he doesn't have. See what probably would have hurt Big Cass was having to keep feuding with Enzo.
yeah, and
So
it's
now that he
also it's
doesn't have
not
to
just
feud
a.
with Riddick Moss when he comes back, Riddick Moss can
Hmm.
either move on or
Yeah,
get a new tag team partner or move up or get future endeavored. But he won't have to come
yeah,
back and fight Riddick Moss probably. And he can just get
and
into the singles thing.
that's what I mean too. Is that it's not just a blessing and a curse for the person who got hurt. It's also it gives someone else in the locker room a chance that they may not have gotten before because now you have to fill the time that you were going to have on air with that storyline. So now you got to come up with something new. So maybe someone else gets a little bit of shine that they weren't going to get initially, and then when Tino comes back, or whoever it may be, when they come back, they still get their pop and they still get what they were going to get. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt them. Maybe not so much. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel
Yeah.
like I'm rambling and making it confusing.
No, I get it. I understand.
I mean, I'm not saying like an injury is necessarily a good thing. It's never a good thing for someone to get hurt, but
You're trying to hope
there's a
that he
silver.
makes the
I'm trying to
best
show
of
the
it.
silver lining.
Hope he makes the best of it. A good
It's like a
way out.
silver lining. Yeah, the silver lining kind of thing.
I hear you. So that takes us to Candice LeRae versus Bianca Belair. I didn't care for this simply on the fact that Candice LeRae was all pouty. I couldn't, and I was like, oh look, it's the sad Toby version of women's wrestling. She's like all pouting the whole time, just like didn't care, and that was
Yeah,
supposed to affect her wrestling because of the storyline with Johnny Gargano. And I'm like, if anything, you should be motivated to go out there and do better as like inspiration. You're supposed to be faces, and don't be all sad and lose a match. But I guess it was a way to
yeah, it was.
put the Bianca chick over. And the Bianca chick did do that badass little weight lift thing where she picked her up from the ground and like squatted her.
Mhm.
And that was impressive. So it was good. And speaking of finest, you could have maybe Bianca Belair team up with Kona Reeves since she's the EST.
I guess in theory it'd be kind of awkward, but
Well, I mean, like he's also an
why
EST.
not?
But he's only one. She only wants. See, she could be like, here's how the promo goes. Like she's like, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the fastest, I'm the strongest, and I only want the finest. And then Kona Reeves comes out. Bam, perfect
And
segue.
then it's them two against Johnny and Candice.
Yeah,
I guess. I guess I could see that. Oh, I said last week, and now I'm just so tired of the Johnny Gargano thing. It's only getting worse with his wife being involved. They're
yeah.
just, they're just way too over the top babyface for me.
Well, I kind of tend
It's
to
just too
agree. I like
much.
I like
Like,
Tommaso Ciampa better of the two.
like even Daniel Bryan was losing me there for a minute. I'm like, you know, wrestle or shut up or end this thing with shame. Like, to
Yeah, that was
being a
getting
freaking
old. That
crybaby
was
every week. Like
that
the
was
over the top nice guy thing is way too much for me. Like, so you're just being a pushover. You're just freaking
that was
crybaby.
that. Yeah, I kind of understand what you're
Too
saying because
much.
that was my disconnect with Roderick Strong. Like I knew the dude could wrestle. Like he was a great wrestler. And I really just got
Yeah,
tired of.
yeah.
I
Same
got
thing with him. Yeah.
I got sick and tired of seeing him fall short. That's the big thing that they do with
Like,
the big goody two shoes baby faces, like the good guy, is that they always fall short. Like Johnny Gargano lost a million times to fucking Andrade Cien Almas, and Roderick Strong lost every title shot he fucking went for, and he went for every single one. He even went for the cruiserweight belt. Just out of nowhere, just jumping into random. Everything he jumps in, he just loses. Uh, I,
yeah.
as good as
Like
he
when he
is,
first got introduced, I had just moved in, like not just moved in, but recently moved in to an apartment with my girlfriend for the first time, and then they introduce him, and he's all, oh, I just got a house with my girlfriend, we just had a baby, and it's like, okay, I can relate to this. I like the guy. He's cool. Reminds me of myself, nice guy. But then it just got so played out, like every week. I'm
they
doing this for my
played that
family.
same
Doing this for
promo
my family,
every
man.
week. They showed
And
that
my my
same
baby's in the
trailer
crowd
house.
crying, and my mom's here watching me get beat up by Bobby Roode. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah, and they showed that
way too
same
much.
trailer house every damn week. I grew up,
Yeah,
blah blah blah, and then they showed that thing of him wrestling on a trampoline when he was like 12 or
yeah.
whatever. And I'm like, I've seen this 500 fucking times. Okay, I know you grew up fucking white trash. I get it, But so fucking
Like this was an example of like a perfect, well-timed heel turn. Like he needed it, and it worked out great. It was well written. Like NXT is doing like everything right,
they
right
did.
timing, right mat, not right booking. Like shit makes sense. It's good.
It's good.
Like ever since right before Takeover, like it's been really good. There was like one episode in there, like in the past couple weeks, that was kind of blah-ish. But other than that, it's
Well,
been
I think the one you're talking about was like the one building up to takeover, and I think that's because they didn't really want to push it too hard, and it was a lot of story filler, and there were a lot of people talking and build up to the takeover because that was
hmm
the takeover before. If I'm thinking of the right one, and I think I am because I remember one not being so great, and it was mostly because it was a lot of promos and there wasn't that much action. But
yeah.
yeah, the one with are you talking about the NXT before
I don't think it was that
WrestleMania?
one. It was more recent, maybe.
I don't know, but yeah, all in all, NXT's got it down to an art. I think
Mm.
they're the brand to
This
watch, even though no one
this Pete
watches it.
Dunne Roger Strong was really good.
I
The
think
the
it
last
had to
match,
be. There. If it wasn't, we would
yeah,
all just. I think we would all give up if that wasn't a good match. It'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna quit watching wrestling because if Pete Dunne and Roderick
yeah,
Strong with Undisputed Era at the side of the ring can't make an interesting match, I'm just gonna hang it up because
yeah,
that's just
basically,
too much. That's giving people. It's like giving people too much. It's too much of an advantage. If you can have all these tools and still fail, you're doing something amazingly bad.
yeah.
So yeah, no way that
Agreed.
could have went wrong. The the setup and everything. I guess the new friendship between Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch and Pete Dunne. I guess it works because they're all British. Well, no, no, no. Oni Lorcan's not,
Pete,
but Oni Lorcan's friends with Danny Burch, but Danny Burch is probably similar character type to Pete Dunne.
yeah,
Just an older version. And it's about time, Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, maybe get a little bit more mainstream exposure. They've been there at the bottom and still have been popular on NXT for a while, um, but they never really succeeded yet. So it might be nice to see them succeed in something.
yeah. I always like it when over there because those guys have matches on the card.
They're good.
They always put on
They're
good
damn
matches.
good.
Like they can wrestle anybody, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, they're for their side, especially Oni
They're
Lorcan.
workhorses.
Oni Lorcan is like a much better version of what's his name, the singer dude from
In
Rusev Day.
English.
Yeah, he looks like Aiden English, like really wiry and stuff like that. But like
Hmm.
he legit like he's good. You know, I guess
Yeah.
Aiden English is
Yes.
okay, but yeah, the dude's fucking great. But I think they're gonna stick around NXT, and in a way, I kind of hope they do. I hope they don't go to Raw or SmackDown because they just they are NXT to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that. Like they're like the foundation of the roster.
I think they're happy there. I think they want to be on NXT, and I don't. Well, you know, I don't guess everybody wants to go and make more money and stuff like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them succeed too. You know, I don't want to take anything away from the guys, and you know, creative. I hope they're not, you know, sitting there. Oh, we better squash that big push we were gonna give Oni Larkin and you know those Dat Wrestling
Yeah.
podcast guys. They don't want Oni
You
Larkin to
know,
leave
yeah.
NXT, so
We're only Lorcan
we
and
just
Bird showing up on our doorsteps.
we just ruined their WrestleMania push, guys. But yeah, I mean, I love those guys, and I only hope that they do well.
So,
But as far as I can tell, that finishes out the NXT. So all in all, not a bad week in wrestling. We got some good moments, some good stuff. We can move on to.
so Street still here with us? Street? Fall
Oh,
asleep over there?
Yeah, what's up?
You still there, bud?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
You
here.
get a couple of big
I'm
beans?
fine. Huh?
You get a couple of big beans?
Yeah.
so I guess we can move on to any rumors we might have. Does anybody have some interesting tidbits?
Well, apparently Hulk Hogan's gonna come back pretty soon. Rumor is that WWE
Flower.
finalized his, I guess, his comeback, like what they were gonna do with him. So apparently Hogan will be making a return pretty damn soon. Anyone like excited for that
Well,
or okay?
is that like new? Is that like new news? Like there's a
Yeah,
new
yeah, yeah. They
article about it?
finalized it.
'Cause
They
they've been.
finalized.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
apparently he gave a big speech at like a Boys and Girls Club thing, and WWE was watching the speech very closely to see how the audience responded and how he would approach the issue of his past behavior. And supposedly the audience responded well, gave him a standing ovation. So that was what WWE needed to give it the go ahead, the green light. And so they saw that confirmed that they said, you know, maybe people are willing to forgive him for it, and they can roll it on out and start doing some probably really
Well,
cringy
if
apology
they do it,
stuff.
they definitely need to have be smart about the arena they choose, location for his return.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
location.
should
They need to
do it
make
in
it like his
They should do it in
hometown kind of thing.
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Well, they'll.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
alright. Alright. That's not what I meant, but
That's the
that's
that's the
like Hulk
safest place, right?
Hogan.
Oh
Alright, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
no. So what was the one that I had? Oh yeah, the
They're more
Batista
like
thing. There was the Batista
Mhm.
thing. Apparently he
he wants to be paid as much as he got paid for playing Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not gonna happen.
well that wasn't that wasn't the
Like,
case.
we got
that
you
wasn't
guys.
it.
You guys got Bobby Lashley. What more do you want? You want Bobby? You want another Bobby Lashley? You want Bobby Lashley with 20 years put on him? Come on, guys. Like,
Well, that was my
I like
I
point.
know,
Batista.
right?
I like Batista too, but if anything, at least don't have him come on Raw for the love of God. We have enough of. We have
Put
enough.
him on
We have enough
SmackDown, man.
Batistas.
Well,
Put
no,
Batista on
the thing
SmackDown.
was, the rumor is that uh, he was supposedly in talks with Triple H and WWE about coming back to team up with Ronda Rousey instead of Kurt Angle, and he pitched the idea that he would do it, but he wanted to, and this was kind of the only way it would go if he was going to do it. He would do the Ronda Rousey team up against Triple H and Stephanie if it built into a rivalry for Batista and Triple H to go to WrestleMania 34, which is next year's WrestleMania, and be the main event of that
35?
WrestleMania. 35? Yeah.
Yeah,
And be the
not
main
34.
event of
35.
that WrestleMania. So
Mm,
that's not a worthy trade off for me. For
no,
one,
Yeah.
that requires a
that's
year
asking too
long
much.
feud with Triple H and Batista. And probably it would probably be spread thin over like 3 pay-per-views over the whole year. Um, no, I like Batista, but I don't think he's main event WrestleMania anymore. I
Mm.
I don't think WrestleMania should be main events should be given to part timers or anything. I think it should be to showcase the. I mean, I guess if you're looking at it traditionally, that was always where the biggest draw goes. You know, Brock Lesnar. You know, whoever sells the most tickets, that's the main event. But it's not that kind of climate anymore. You know, it's the times they are changing. You know, there's the whole big push to make women's wrestling to give a
Mm,
women's match WrestleMania main event, and I think it'll happen whether we want it or not. I think there could be a match worthy of a WrestleMania main event if they book it right and they build it right. They've got the tools now to do it. Now that they've
Mhm.
built themselves this little bit, you know, especially on SmackDown, I think you know there's some possibilities there to see a women's main event that I wouldn't mind calling a main event. But
Mhm.
I don't know.
this isn't early 2000s. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
True.
there's not a lot of rumors going around right now, other than the
No.
Tito Sabatella getting hurt and the Hulk Hogan thing, whether he'll come back soon or not. And I think it'll be sooner rather than later. Um,
Yeah. The more they wait on the Hogan thing, the relevant it will become. You
well,
know.
that's kind of a good thing too. They kind of want
Yeah.
people to get that out of their minds and forget about it.
Yeah. I have like a couple of headlines, not rumors, but headlines here. Um. So Big Show, if you guys didn't know why he wasn't in the Greatest Royal Rumble as advertised, he was supposed to be in the Greatest Royal Rumble. The reason why he wasn't there is because he got injured during training, so he's not going to be on screen anytime soon. So, yep, he's
He
out with the
needs to just
back.
hang it up, guys.
Huh?
Huh?
I love the Big Show, but I think he needs to just stop.
You think he needs to stop?
Well,
Big Show
he
just
kind of has.
retire?
He only really wrestles
He's
when they
too
need him to
hurt.
put somebody over, and
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they have people for that. This guy's putting his body through hell, man.
but that's
I
what
don't. He's a good. I
I don't
love the
think
Big
it's.
Show. He's such a good person. I don't want to see him hurt himself.
I think
You know what I
most of the
mean?
time, like the last time he got hurt, quote unquote, other than this when he was training or whatever, but the last time was really just to write him off for a little while. It was a storyline injury. So a lot of his injuries are just to put somebody over. Like, oh, they hurt the Big Show. They must be big news. You know, it makes it a bigger
Yeah.
deal too. I mean, if you can beat the Big Show, you know, you got game, kid. You
You
know,
got
'cause-
the second place for Andre the Giant over here. People
yeah.
beating him. Second place Andre the Giant. That's how I always looked at Big Show as. Like Andre Giant and then Big Show. And so
Mhm.
Andre Giant passed away. I always looked at the Big Show as an Andre Giant type person. Like not like a rip-off or anything, but
The second
it's
coming.
a similar type. Yeah, the second coming. And he did put a big impact in wrestling, the Big Show, and that's pretty good. I liked him.
Yeah.
Alright, I got another headline here since it's Greatest Royal Rumble related. Ari Daivari getting death threats
Oh
after his
yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing at the Greatest Royal Rumble. You know how he came out and did his promo with
Yeah,
those
whoever
three
wrote that needs to be
guys.
fired immediately.
Huh?
Whoever wrote that needs to be fired. Like the
You don't,
Yeah,
yeah,
storyline.
because
you
he's
don't, you
got.
don't do storylines between like warring countries and like make jokes
Yeah.
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, that's why he got a
God.
whole bunch of death threats, and he probably might be quitting WWE. Apparently, that's another rumor. He might
That,
uh
that
he
would be
might
like us going to
quit in
to
WWE.
Afghanistan and putting on a show making fun of Osama bin Laden or something,
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
see the American Taliban, Taliban,
we have the better
woo!
army than you.
And that would be
You
just,
don't go say that shit.
come
True,
on.
true,
It's like,
true.
yeah, it's for Saudi
Ridiculous.
Arabia, but don't you think Iran's watching too? They don't have any wrestling
Mhm.
fans who want to see
Yeah.
this show.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that
I
was
got
kind of bad.
a I got another headline that I read up about Kane. You know, he wins the
He won the
mayor
primary,
thingy.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
hmm
primary.
That means that it's him against, I guess, the Democrat, because I think most wrestlers are Republican. I think they have to be, or they'll get fired. Um, no, but
Okay.
well, I mean, look who Vince McMahon's best friend is.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Vince McMahon's best
Yeah,
friend, Donald Trump.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so Kane or Glenn Jacobs rather is one step closer to being a mayor of a small town in Tennessee.
Which makes someone step closer to being the president of the United States.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe,
Well, a tiny
yeah,
step. Aim for president.
maybe
A
vice
little bit of
president. How about Rock Jacobs? Johnson Jacobs,
a
2020.
a
The
WWE
Rock
keeping
and
up with the
Kane,
world,
come on,
baby.
the Big Red Machine and Kane in the Oval Office. Nobody's gonna fuck with us.
The hell, I know, right? Kane, the fucking Oval
Right.
Office guys.
Well, I think.
The Rock can do the talking. Kane can fucking pile drive them
Well,
and choke slam them.
it doesn't matter who the president is. John
No,
Cena
it
still
doesn't
runs this
matter who the
country.
president is.
John Cena runs this country.
So,
Without him, we would be nothing.
yeah, so that's true. So I got another headline, kind of like a rumor slash report slash I don't know. It's like it's a lot of things that's been taking heat about the whole John Cena and Nikki thing. So people are speculating that this might be just a build up for the show Total Bellas since it's going to be coming back. They're saying that it's not real. It's just publicity stunt for the show to build up the show because like the people that follow the show,
That's
they're really going to want to see it and see what happens and
because the
huh?
WWE has lied to us so damn much. Like,
Yeah.
if you've been watching WWE since like you were a kid and you're our
Yeah.
age now, like you don't believe anybody about anything anymore. So you're just like, nope,
Yeah.
I don't fucking believe it. Let's see it. Let's actually see
Yeah.
it in real life in front of my eyes, and I know it's real.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
they blew up Vince McMahon for God's sake. You know, I was a child. I'm like, oh my god, I don't even Vince McMahon blew up his car. It's freaking terrible.
Yeah. I mean, WWE did so
Like,
much crazy shit, you know?
they have done some wild shit. You know, maybe
Yeah.
that makes you think. Like, did that really just happen? Like Shane McMahon,
Yeah.
we thought he died like 17 times. You know, it's like you
Exactly.
never
Yeah.
know. It's hard to believe if an injury is real or not.
How to
Sometimes you
do
can
that?
tell. Sometimes you can
Yeah.
tell, of course, but
Like when
sometimes
Shane
you're really
McMahon,
like, With Shane McMahon, you can never tell. Like, if he
Shane
dies,
No,
McMahon,
you can tell because his face is like falling off, or like he's
he's
breathing
like, yeah, he's like
like a wounded
seizuring.
antelope in the
antelope. I was about to be an
like a
antelope. God,
I don't know. I was just thinking of animals that get wounded
poor,
a lot.
poor, poor antelope.
Antelopes are always getting wounded or killed by
Because
like cheetahs and shit, you know. So
the antelopes are endangered over there in Arkansas.
I
I'll tell you that
know.
much.
And the antelopes, fucking, we gotta save the antelopes. They get went extinct. They get injured and shit.
but apparently Heath
So we got a
Slater,
WWF on it, huh? Right?
World Wildlife Foundation, you know it. Apparently Heath Slater
Yeah.
has a wrestling school. Um
Oh yeah,
and his
that's
newest
interesting.
well, most jobbers do. But
True.
the he just got a new recruit, and this new recruit is legendary boxer Joe Frazier's son.
Really?
Interesting.
And Joe Frazier's son is named Zeus, and he's 7 foot
Zeus
Damn.
Frazier?
tall and over 300 pounds.
And you can't teach
Damn.
that.
So
His name
that
is
could
Zeus, and
be
he just
interesting.
happened to be over 7 foot tall and 300 rounds.
I just happen to be. So yeah, he's got all the tools. He's got a badass name. Although WWE did use a
I think you'd
big
have to
a big guy
change his name.
and call him Zeus before, and I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that
Yeah.
was the guy
That's
from
why I said I'd have to
Friday.
change his name.
Yeah.
Uh,
Jesus.
what was his name? Day Day? No,
Day.
no, it wasn't Day Day. What was the name of the big dude?
No, no. I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
on the bicycle and
Yeah, yeah,
with
I
the
know,
eye.
I know who you're talking about.
That
I have one
guy
more
was
headline.
Zeus. Go ahead.
Yeah. I have one more headline I just want to bring up before we can get into it, if we're doing any predictions for Backlash or not. The other headline I want to bring up, it's not nothing big, but if you expected Chris Jericho to come back in action in WWE, it's not going to happen. He's, I guess, still working with Japan Wrestling, and he's going to be on there for a while. So,
Who
unless he
is?
gets Chris Jericho, unless he gets like a deal with WWE, you know, he's a free guy, so he can come back and like for a big kind of thing, like you know how he was supposedly gonna come back for that match with Undertaker, like he would take stuff like that. Of course, he'll come back, but we're not gonna see him as like having any kind of feuds or anything in WWE for a bit because he's currently working
Mm-hmm.
with Japan Wrestling at the moment, doing stuff over there.
Oh, it's
Apparently he,
Debo.
Debo.
yeah, Debo is the guy you were talking about earlier.
Mr.
Sorry, just came
Google
up with
over
it.
here getting the answers.
No, man. It's all in my head.
Oh, finally
Google
found
that
it.
shit. Alright, so
That
you guys
sucks,
want to
though.
talk
I
about?
want Chris Jericho to be on the main roster, man.
Huh?
Yeah,
It's like
I
my...
feel you.
I want Chris Jericho to be on the main roster. It's like
I feel you.
my one... Basically, like, my favorite person. Like, if he was active, he would be my favorite person that would ever be.
Mhm.
Oh, do we think that Absolution is over? And if
Yes.
Absolution is completely over, are they gonna be split up, or are they gonna team up? Are they gonna what are they
I
gonna
think they'll
do?
team up for a little bit, and then one of them will turn on the
Turn
other
on the other
eventually.
one? Yeah, that's not logical.
And then it'll
Well,
just be like evolution never existed, and we can rejoice.
And I never seen him wrestle as Zeus, by the way. I seen him wrestle as Z Gangster or whatever his name was on WCW. He fought a few people there. If you wanted to know if I've watched him in wrestling, but yeah, can move on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any rumors that I pinned, or I don't see any in here that are particularly interesting. So, all in all, a pretty good week for wrestling. Anything else anybody wants to add, or we want to go ahead and call it a podcast?
We can go into, predictions if you want to, since
Well,
it's
we do have
tomorrow. Well, later
we
today. Backlash.
Backlash is coming right up. That's right. So let's see what we got here. We have. I'm gonna start at the bottom because they started with the main event. Bailey and Ruby Riott in the kickoff.
Oh wait, before you do that,
Let's not go over the.
Oh, come on, man! If you're gonna do it.
did you see the thing? Did you see the thing about The Rock and John Cena maybe co-starring
In a movie,
movie
yeah, they're
together?
gonna be. That could be interesting. I'd like to see. I want to see that actually. I want to see how John Cena and The Rock play together in a movie. I want to see how
The
it
last
works.
movie I seen John Cena in was the Daddy's Home too.
Yeah,
So that's the last movie I seen John Cena in.
yeah.
Daddy's
I
Home
definitely
too.
want to
I
see
don't know,
what
it could be
they
I
interesting.
put
want to
out.
see Blockers. Looks like it's gonna be pretty funny.
I haven't seen Blockers yet.
It's not out yet.
Yeah, I was about to say no one.
Oh, okay.
No one
I
has.
don't know. I
Unless
fucking don't
yeah,
know.
unless John Cena's nephew or something, you know.
But yeah. So
Alright, so let's go
kickoff
on
show
to predictions.
predictions. Bailey, Ruby Riott. I think Bailey loses because Sasha interferes.
Yep. I agree
Wait,
with you on
what?
that.
Bailey versus Ruby
Ruby
Riott?
Riott is on the kickoff
Uh-huh.
show. So we have no reason
Wow.
to watch the kickoff show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
You
I
think
might not
that's
even.
funny.
I honestly might not even watch it this
I
time.
never really watched it.
I
Yeah,
usually
we're keeping on.
I
always
watch it
watch it.
every single time, and every single
Okay.
time it's just everybody else's predictions on the thing, and then it's all the
Yeah.
promos we've watched all week. So I don't even know why I watch it except for the one match that I usually don't know what it is, but now I know, and I'm not going to watch it.
Alright, let's move on. Next match, what we got?
Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I think Braun
Garbage.
probably can get it.
Bobby and Braun are. No,
Brock's gotta win that.
I think Kevin Owens and Sami could win.
Or maybe Kevin Owens and Sami wins, and this is when one of those guys turn on the other, and it starts a rivalry with them two.
Street
And
got
Brian and Bobby.
Street got lost. I guess he'll be back in a minute. I'll send him a party. Yeah, I'll send him a party invite. I don't think he even realizes he got kicked. Oh, there he is.
No.
So, yeah.
Bitches.
I think Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley will take it.
Yeah, same.
And after that, we got Daniel Bryan and Big Cass. Now, here's the thing.
Obviously, Daniel Bryan. Unless
Here's
Miz
here's
comes
the
out.
thing. Here's the thing, though. You just gave
comes
Big Cass just came back. He's got nothing to show for it. If he loses right off the bat, I mean, it's going to be bad. It's going to make
He
him.
needs a cheap
again.
win. He needs a cheap win.
Yeah,
Miz
he's
is
definitely
gonna
gonna. He's gonna cheat the win, or it's gonna be a dirty win. You know.
Yeah, but a win's a win. So, but I
That's what's
think
gonna happen.
Big Cass is going to win over Daniel Bryan. As much as nobody wants to see it, as much as it's going to piss people off, Big Cass has to win here.
Yeah.
If they don't win, if he doesn't win, then creative just really doesn't fucking get it, and they don't get the audience. Sometimes you got to piss the audience off to get the end result that you eventually want.
Oh,
but
they've been pissing the audience off with Roman Reigns. Come on.
But I know, but sometimes there's a strategy behind it, and I'm sure they know this. They have to know it, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that takes us to Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton for the United States Championship.
Hardy's definitely gonna win it.
You never know with stuff like with two baby faces. You never really know, and
Like
but I
Souls was
think
saying, you think they're gonna take the title away from him that quick?
Yes, because the thing
They
is,
did it to Randy.
they did it
Okay.
to Randy, and he's not. I don't think he's in the shape to perform that often.
I get you.
Like,
I get you.
I
I
love
get
Jeff
what you're
Hardy, and
saying.
I keep saying it, but he looks hurt every time I see him.
I know.
Hmm.
I know what you mean.
So
Unfortunately, I agree.
something weird's gonna happen here, or uh, somebody's gonna show up, or something weird. Something's gonna go down. But
Mm.
if I had to call it
Going
between the
down
two,
for
I would
me.
say Jeff Hardy would win. But
Yeah.
something hinky's gonna
Doesn't matter
happen.
to me who wins, because like to see both of them be it in the winner. So,
Yeah.
doesn't
So
matter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm
Could be
happy.
an equal match. Yeah.
Intercontinental Championship: Seth Rollins versus The Miz. Uh,
The Miz could potentially come back. So, I don't know. I don't think
I don't think
they're
it's
gonna
time
have the
yet.
Miz come back though. Yeah.
I think Seth Rollins is gonna win, but you never count The Miz out ever.
Yeah. Because he could potentially come back, and this does not mean that the Miztourage won't be there, because they could potentially be there to back up the Miz. Who knows? Or maybe we'll see the Miztourage back up Seth Rollins. What about that? What do you see there?
The Four Horsemen.
I don't know.
Son, if they write this
I didn't put
well,
it together. I didn't put it together because they just
if,
pitched. What if we helped you? What if we run your side? What if they
yeah,
did help them at
yeah,
Backlash and help Seth
if they
Rollins retain his title?
if they write this
Uh,
well, this could be a good match. If they write it well, if it's just gonna be a match and Finn Balor just Seth Rollins just wins, it's just a match. Then they should write it well, since they do have the potential of the Miztourage there, and we got
because
Finn
yeah, it's
Balor
co-branded.
also. Yeah, so
So
anything could really happen between these guys.
that would be
I
really
don't know.
interesting to see them come out and help Seth Rollins win in a bid to have somebody to join.
Yep.
Hmm.
What do you think, so?
I don't think it'll
I
happen, but
agree.
that would
I'm
be
down with
great.
it. I can see it.
So can see it.
See it.
Remember, WWE, we're here every
You
day,
you heard it
every
first on
weekend.
that wrestling podcast.
Alright, let's move on.
Raw Women's Championship: Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. Rematch. Um, I
You
don't
think
think Bliss will
she'll
take the
take it
title
back?
back yet. No, not she can't. Not with all the reverse bully thing she's been pulling.
Yeah.
You can't let her go over on
Mm-mm.
that unless it's some kind of dirty tactic with Mickey James involved or something like that. Because you see, it's not a no DQ. It's there's if
Wait, there's a no.
well she
It's a no
well
DQ now.
it's not something like that.
Oh.
So,
Oh. Okay.
but I guess if Nia Jax wanted to, she could get DQ'd and retain. But that won't happen. But I have a feeling that's what will happen in the next match with Carmella and Charlotte Flair. I think Carmella is going to go grab the first weapon she can find or do the first thing she can do to get disqualified, and she keeps her belt.
Yeah, I agree. It's too
And
soon for her to lose
that's
it.
that's the exact right thing to do. She should do. I think they should make it funny or make it really interesting or great the way they do it because she has the potential to be kind of funny too. So I mean, like maybe running away and she, you know, just
Yeah.
does something stupid to get disqualified. Like Pants is the referee or something.
Yeah.
So just do something crazy and get disqualified and keep the belt and just that's what I think. What do you think, Street? Did we lose him again?
Treat, you here? Is he here?
Mm. Guess he went to go get some more of those Boston baked beans.
He's just nodding off over there. He's having a little Boston Tea Party over there.
Oh, there's only two more matches to go through, and that's Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe. Uh, Roman Reigns will win, but I would rather see Samoa Joe win.
This is the last match, isn't it?
No, the last match is
Oh no,
AJ and
AJ and
Shinsuke.
Shinsuke. I was. I'm really disappointed that or confused. Like Brock's not on a pay-per-view.
Well, that is kind of.
With everything that's been going on, like
Well, that's all to
I think
probably
that
build that storyline they've been building of him being a no good part timer and
well, I think
giving
they're
Roman
kind of
Reigns
like
more
lost
ammo.
with it at this point.
Well, the storyline for the Universal Belt right now is Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe. I think it's almost kind of to figure out a number one contender-ish type deal without being officially said that this is number one
But
contenders.
Roman can't like it's hard to make Roman a number one contender even if he beats everybody else because he's already got manhandled by Brock
I know.
over and over again. Like it's hard to build that back up again. Like we're just like okay, whatever, he's gonna get Osby again.
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully they just go for Braun over Roman, but we'll see. But yeah, that leads to AJ and
But they don't seem
Shinsuke.
like they are though.
Oh no, it doesn't really. But who knows what they're doing? Who knows what they're fucking thinking with Roman Reigns? I'm tired of trying to figure it
I'm
out because
confused by it. Yeah.
they don't know what they're fucking doing. If I had Roman Reigns, good God, he would be the biggest heel on the roster right now.
hmm
Oh, now we got a street.
Yeah, so
Where'd you go?
Last match.
Went to sleep there?
bathroom. No,
So yeah, Shinsuke AJ, I'm pretty sure that I think Shinsuke wins
nah.
because he hasn't had the belt yet.
I don't see it yet.
They haven't pulled. I mean, they're pulling the trigger on the heel turn. Why not go ahead and give him the title and let him run wild with it for a couple weeks and go like that? I think the AJ feud's getting stale for sure, or it's going to. It's going to run its course sooner rather than later.
True that.
But
True
yeah,
that.
that's my predictions. All in all, I think it could be a decent card, but there's a lot of blandness to it too. A lot of matches I don't think, like Bobby Lashley teaming up with Braun Strowman, whatever.
We kind of already got that.
Well, they're going to turn on each other, and then it's going to build into a match between Braun and Bobby for the next pay-per-view or whatever.
If they do that, that'll make it entertaining.
Yeah. But I think we're good, guys. Unless anybody else has something to add, I think we can go ahead and end the stream.
Yeah, we
No,
good here.
I'm good.
All right, guys. This was a pretty good podcast. I think we got through it a lot better than we have on some days. I think this new little way of getting through it might actually work pretty well. So tune in next week. Same YouTube channel, same YouTube time. That was terrible. YouTube time, YouTube channel. Alright, guys. Alright, Dat Wrasslin Podcast, over and out.